To help set the tone for today's service, I've invited Patrick Andrews to be here today. He has playing the didgeridoo as well as the singing bowls a bit in our meditation. So he's going to wander about a bit. You're free to just sit in your chair in a meditative state if you'd like, keep your eyes open, and just be for a bit till we get started. Thank you. I love how that vibration truly centers me. I can feel the energy of my feet connecting with Mother Earth, the vibration, energy flowing up through my body and out through my head into Father Sky. So I truly appreciate the experience of energy and vibration. And so I ask you to join with me today and celebrate a little bit unique service. I want to get started with something that I saw on the internet just recently that shares a little bit of my joy in energy and vibration. So if you don't, I'd like for you to see the screen. The video is only about 15 seconds, so if you can't see it, please move.
And you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it.
And your face will sure to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay, so if you didn't get it, that was something that was online. It was a baby in utero, and it was clapping its hands. Now I have to add that the parents probably added their song afterwards. For a fact, when they were, sending out their announcement of their beautiful child that was playing with vibration. But isn't it fabulous that a baby in the womb even understood that the energy that was going on with the clap of their hands? And we're going to certainly have an opportunity to experience that today. Before I share more about my joy and love of vibration and music, I want to back up a little bit and share a little bit more about myself and my journey here in school. Many of you know that I'm graduating in June, and as we count down those days, it is 50 days to be exact. I can only reflect on what brought me here to Unity so many years ago. I'm a long-time Unity person. Walked into a church in my mid-20s, and I have to share that, I went into many churches when I was a young woman, and with friends, and I walked in and I walked out, and I thought, well, that's nice, and I never went back. And then in my mid-20s, I went into Unity Church of Overland Park. And almost immediately, from the minute I walked in the door, there was this vibration that was tangible. I could feel it. And it was like, yes, I'm in my right place. But what also kept me there, I was thinking about that, and I'm fairly convinced that it must have been some kind of lesson around the 12 powers, something that's so unique to Unity. It makes us really quite special. I think it was the 12 powers that drew me in, because I was hearing about these powers that were within my body. And I was understanding, always before, I'd heard about this God that was out there. And all of a sudden, I felt this big shift, like, oh, like there's a God in here? And so that was the beginning of my journey, a whole new journey. I would also say that something that was important for me around the 12 powers with Unity is that we are a Christian movement, and our culture is Christian, and I was looking for a way at that time in my life to had this spiritual yearning, wanted to fit in some way, and hadn't found the right space. And so finally, this was an in for me in Unity, and to be Christian. And so I truly appreciate that aspect of Unity and what the Fillmores have done. So I would like to bring the energy of the 12 powers into this chapel today. And to do that, I have a slide that says, some of you might be familiar with this acronym, Lip, Juice, Flows. Okay, now this is, in SEE, we learned that this is the first letter of each of the 12 powers, and this helps us to memorize them so that we know what they are. So what I'd like for you to do is to join with me and clap your hands as we say each word. And we're going to begin with the word life. So life, imagination, power, judgment, understanding, zeal, elimination, faith, love, order, will, and strength. Great job. So can you feel the even shift in the energy with the clapping and even of the saying the words, and we're owning them? So I think in my 20s, when I walked into that church and I heard about the 12 powers, I really got at some level that the Christ was unfolding within me. That there was this spiritual path that was available that I was ready to jump onto. And I was excited about it. And obviously it led me here to ministerial school to help share my passion of how I've grown spiritually over the years. That was Myrtle Fillmore that said, true prosperity is the unfolding of God within. Let me say that again. True prosperity is the unfolding of God within. So how exactly does one unfold God? Now, I don't think I fully understood exactly what that meant for me until I read this book here in school. This book is called The Ego and the Dynamic Ground. Now, this was in a transpersonal psychology class with Reverend Robert Brummett. And dynamic ground is a word for God. Now, I have to admit, this book is very textbookish, and I don't quite want to go all that deep, but I do want to share with you the joy and what I discovered in this book, that kind of a little summary of what it means for me. I want to explain about the ego and the dynamic ground. And to do that, I brought out some origami paper. I love Japanese paper folding, the art of Japanese paper folding. So imagine that this is you and I when we're born, and that inside this paper is both the ego and the dynamic ground. And as we grow, as we begin to grow, we walk and talk and go to school and learn new things, we start folding. We start folding and building an identity. And as we begin, that starts from a sense of ego. And we need a healthy ego. I think in spiritual circles, a lot of times ego gets a bad rap. But I'm here to tell you that we need a healthy ego, because that's what helps us to grow into full self-actualization and eventually get to that space of being with the dynamic ground, God. So here we are, we're folding, and say we go through high school, and we're like around here. I would like to think that all of us have had perfect childhoods, and I know that that's just not the truth. And so at some time in our life, perhaps we'll get some help to build that healthy ego, a 10 to 12-step program, or do therapy or something like that. So we're building our ego, and that's a good thing. So remember, we still have the healthy ego, Okay, we're building that and we have the dynamic ground, but look what's happening as we're growing, and it's really the ego that's taking the lead, and that's okay. That's okay when we're starting. But then, at some point, we hope that each of us turn into a beautiful, beautiful bird. Fully self-actualized, reaching our full potential, shining our light to the world, which is certainly what Unity loves. And so, but notice that it's still at this point, it's the ego that's in the lead. The Christ self that's in us is still perhaps down here. And at some point in life, there's this change that starts happening, this surrendering and letting go. And the ego starts to surrender to the dynamic ground. And so the beautiful bird flies over here, and the ego surrenders to God within. And then God then takes the lead of our lives. Notice also that, when there's two aspects of self, there's kind of this tension. Have you ever felt like, well, one day it's my ego leading, and another day it's like, okay, God's leading today? As we do this work, there's this space where we surrender, and it becomes like one within ourselves and one within God. So I know my model is sort of simple, but it's precious to me because it explains what I've been doing in this journey with Unity my whole life. I still have this yearning and this connection to be one with Spirit, one with Source. I would also say, for the last 5 years of my life, daily meditation practice and also work with healing energy and vibration and sound have been a very key part of my practice, part of helping me to grow into that space where I feel connected and one with the dynamic ground. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore knew very well the benefit of meditation. Meditation actually benefits this process that I'm talking about. So for instance, I was talking about that, we're moving from here and then to here. Meditation actually speeds up that entire process. There are studies now that are showing that. So that's why we want to encourage people to meditate on a daily basis. And then also add in the element of sound and vibration, which is really what this service is about today. Many of you know that I'm a breathwork facilitator as well, and that I use chakra-attuned music to help open the energy centers in the bodies, and it's very healing and dynamic and a great experience. Sometimes in this journey of becoming our flying, beautiful bird, we can kind of get stuck sometimes. So it's the vibration and sound of music that we can use in a very easy way to go beyond the mind, to open ourselves up, and to connect us with Spirit. Listen to what one Sufi master, Hazrat Inayat Khan, said about music. What makes us feel drawn to music is that our whole body is music. Our mind and body, the nature in which we live, the nature which has made us, all that is beneath and around us, it is all music. And so it's this sound and music and vibration that can help heal our soul, help strengthen that ego that I was talking about, and ultimately to surrender to Spirit. Most likely it's clearing a way for that God within to be in charge. Now, Charles Fillmore certainly understood the relationship between music, sound vibration, and the body. He was such a pioneer. Listen to what he said. In time, probably, there will be schools of healing based on music, where patients will be taught how to center themselves in the harmonious Christ mind. The more we think about the great, pulsating, universal life, the more we shall express it. We may apply music in every department of life. The body is not only a musical instrument, it is also a composition. You are constantly composing as well as playing. So as we begin our extended meditation today, I encourage you to compose your own song of opening and connection with Spirit. What is your growing edge? Is there something in your life that you aspire to? Is there something perhaps that you need to heal? As you came in the door today, you were given some things that you should have in your hands. There's a card that was presented to you, and that comes from our friends in Unity, Raymond Benario, Jane Simmons, and Kelly Isola. They made those cards several years ago. I love these cards. They're very inspirational. And so the card is yours to take home. And it may be connected in some way with your meditation today. You never know. And then you were also given a piece of origami paper. And you might want to notice the color that it is. Perhaps it's one of the colors of the 12 powers. And just hold that with you. And then after the meditation, we're going to have an opportunity to do some journaling. And you're going to do that on the journaling on the back of your origami paper, so you'd have a pencil as well. And so if you don't have any of those things, you can raise your hand, and one of the ushers will come around and help you. Okay? So let us center in. We'll tell you that with the vibrational music, you have an opportunity to keep your eyes open or closed, whatever is most comfortable for you. Okay. And Judy, let's begin with the drum. I'll let you know that the drum beat is also going to be a cue to open our eyes. There's going to be a small video that we're going to watch towards the end. So when you hear the drum again at the end, open your eyes. And if you're not by the video screen, just gently raise yourself and move so you can see the screen. It's about a minute and a half that you'll be watching the screen. And then we'll have time to journal. So as we center ourselves in our bodies, we put both feet flat on the floor. We have our backs and spine straight, gently relaxed but straight, and our head and neck facing forward. We open ourselves up to the divine energy that comes from the ground. We see ourselves rooted in the ground, just like a tree, connecting our roots all the way into the center through Mother Earth. And we breathe. We breathe in, and we breathe out. We breathe in, and we breathe out. Life, represented by the color red. I claim my power of life in my reproductive organs. I bring energy and vitality to my thoughts and actions. Elimination, represented by the color russet. I claim my power of elimination in my organs of elimination. I have an ability to release and let go of any thought, feeling, or situation that does not serve me. Strength, represented by the color spring green. I claim my power of strength in my lower back. I have an ability to stay the course and see the good in spite of any other outward appearance. Order, represented by the color olive green. I claim my power of order at my navel. I organize and balance my life according to divine ideas. My gift of order brings supply for my every need. Judgment, represented by the color yellow. I claim my power of judgment in the solar plexus, the pit of my stomach. I have an ability to know how to use what I spiritually understand. I am discerning and wise. Love, represented by the color pink. I claim my power of love in my heart. I have an ability to attract, harmonize, and unify my life from divine ideas. Power, represented by the color purple. I claim my power of power from the root of the tongue, the larynx. I have an ability to master, dominate, and control my own emotions, inspirations, and thoughts. It is through my spoken word that power manifests in my life. Zeal, represented by the color orange. I claim my power of zeal from the medulla, the base of the brain at the back of the neck. I am passionate and enthusiastic about divine ideas. Imagination, represented by the color light blue. I claim my power of imagination from my brow, between my two eyes. I have an ability to visualize and dream. I give form and shape to divine ideas and substance.
understanding, represented by the color gold. I claim my power of understanding from my right front brain. I have an ability to know and recognize the truth. Will, represented by the color silver. I claim my power of will from my left front brain. I have an ability to choose, decide, and lead based on divine ideas. Faith, represented by the color royal blue. I claim my power of faith from my pineal gland in the center of my brain. I have an ability to perceive divine ideas, believe in them, and have conviction. I say yes and have it happen. As we gently bring ourselves back into the room, bring your attention to the video screen and imagine that you're a beautiful flying bird. Imagine feeling space and unlimited freedom. we listen to the music of Daniel Nahmod, get ready, my soul. This is your time to journal. Turn over your origami paper, write down any thoughts, any feelings that came from your experience with the singing bowls.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, ready, my soul.
Welcome back. I'd like to take this time to thank Patrick Andrews for the beautiful playing of the singing bowls. Patrick, we can acknowledge him. Thank you so much for being here. Also playing the didgeridoo. Thank you. I'd also like to give a special thank you to Christine McFarland, who's been my chapel service coordinator and has helped me greatly in this process. So thank you, Christine. Okay, so where we left off, you still have this, now you have this origami piece of paper in your hand. And what I would like for you to do, you'll notice that on one corner it has a web address that tells you where you can go online and you can fold your own beautiful bird. So you have some homework from today's service, okay? But that's not the end of it. You know, I want you to put the bird, after you folded it, and I promise it'll only take 5 or 10 minutes for you to figure it out. You might have to stop the video a few times, but you'll figure it out. Put the bird, the flying bird, someplace where you're gonna see it quite often in the next week or two. Okay, so maybe on your bedstand or in your bathroom or on your dinner table. So that you're gonna keep this in your mind and in your heart. And then, if, you know, in life, sometimes we forget some of the places that we have our aspirations and where we're going. And so we need a reminder. And so the reminder is, I want you to then go back to your bird, and if you forget, and unfold it. I want you to unfold it and go back to that dynamic ground, that place that we were here in this, with the singing bowls, and remember what how God was speaking to your heart and what it brought to you. So know that your bird is flying at all times. Remember, it was Myrtle Fillmore that said, true prosperity is the unfolding of God within. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed a very unusual service. And let's close in prayer. Sweet Holy Spirit, divine ground, the Christ within. We give thanks for celebration today, the singing bowls, the toning of the didgeridoo, the vibration that calls us home to the center of our being, the gift of God that flows in and through us, and for that we are eternally grateful for that Christ unfolding. Thank you, God. Please know that there's a small reception outside after the service. Please help yourself, and we also have some additional origami paper. You can pick a different color if you want, and take it home, and happy folding, everybody. Thank you.